Hey guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon Fab 5. I am your host, Swami, and today we have our Week 7 matchup versus GalacticElliot for the NPA. Yes, it's a battle of two Pokemon Fab 5 members. Myself, I'm 4-1, Elliot is 4-2. We're both in the same division, so this is a really big matchup. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to apologize. I don't know if this is going to maintain if I'm going to do a full live commentary. I guess if you're not going to see it, then it's not going to be a live commentary, but I'm kind of under the weather. I've been sick all day, but this match is really important, and Elliot's had some computer troubles, and I really wanted to face him, so it's just one of those things that this was the only time that we could do it. So instead of having my assistant do it or anything of that nature, I'm going all in. And the reason I mention this is because while my plays and my reads should still be completely fine, I mean, even when I'm sick, I've played Pokemon with very high fevers on SHOWDOWN, whatever. My energy in this commentary might not be as high as it has been in the past. That's why I wanted to let you guys know that there's actually a reason if I'm a little bit quieter, not as loud as a whole. So I just want to let you guys know that, and I'm really excited for this matchup because Elliot has an awesome team. Just writing back to him. Let's take a look at the team in a minute. I just want to see if he's online. Okay. So the team that we built, we decided to stay away from Tyranitar this week. It'll be the first week that we didn't bring Tyranitar, and Tyranitar is our sand. So that means that we're not going to be running that. And the reason we're not going to is I felt that Mold Breaker was more beneficial on Excadrill anyway this week, and he has a lot of Pokemon that can hit Tyranitar for super effective damage on the physical side. Looking at his team, I'll read off his team and I'll tell you our team. Elliot's team is Clefable, Salamence, Tentacruel, Seismitoad, Pangoro, Gourgeist, Mega Metagross, Arcanine, Electros, Exploud, and Kricketune. Of those Pokemon, Salamence, I think Seismitoad, Pangoro, Gourgeist, Mega Metagross, Arcanine, and Electros all can hit Tyranitar for super effective damage. And Mega Metagross has Stab, so does Pangoro for that. Seismitoad does as well. And then Electros has a wide variety of moves, etc. So I didn't feel that Sand was all that necessary this week. I wanted more Mold Breaker because he does have the Electros, which means that it has Levitate, and this way we can hit it while it's floating in the air with an Earthquake. And because we didn't bring Sand, we had a few options. We were either going to bring a Choice Scarfed Excadrill, a Choice Banded Excadrill, which probably wouldn't be the idea, or we were going to make it a bulkier set. And that's what we decided to do. So let me run down the team real quick, because his squad is very scary. It has one of the best cores in the game. Clefable, Salamence, Mega Metagross, that Fairy Steel Dragon core just has a ton of synergy. Tentacruel and Seismitoad, both of them are very, very good. Arcanine, one of my favorite Pokemon in general, has a very deep move pool in terms of coverage. It can get Wild Charge, it can get Close Combat, it can get E-Speed, Flare Blitz, Will-O-Wisp, Bulldoze. It doesn't get Earthquake, but it's a very good Pokemon. So these are things to keep in mind with each of them. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. I'm going to start off with Rotom. Rotom Heat is an Assault Vest. Rotom. So this is our special defense wall for the most part. It is carrying Volt Switch, Hidden Power Grass, Thunderbolt, and Overheat. If we're taking on a max HP, we're going to take on a max HP Seismitoad. This will do about 68 to 83% using Hidden Power Grass on it, which is always good. And it can still hit for pretty decent damage on anything. I don't know the exact counts, but this is really more of a special defensive wall and a pivot. Because he only has one ground type, and that is Seismitoad, for the most part we can get good Volt Switches off. And we're not the fastest Rotom Heat in the world. We end up hitting around I think it was 106 speed, which is not that fast. But we put 252 special attack, 144 special defense with a calm nature, and 112 HP with the assault vest. Up next, we have Unique, the Haxorus. It's a female shiny Haxorus. It is rocking Earthquake, Dragon Dance, Outrage, Poison Jab, 4 HP, 252 attack, a Jolly Nature with max speed. This is really my hard-hitting Mold Breaker Mon, and if you notice, it is carrying Ground EMZ because of that Earthquake. I thought about it a lot, and while Outrage and getting a max power Devastating Dracoff with this would be awesome, I realized that he has enough on his team that can at least either resist or be immune to it that I really probably would have a better chance of using Earthquake as a whole going into this. A Tectonic Rage one-shots Mega Metagross, at least a good variety of them. It also does a ton of damage to pretty much anything else. It can do a ton to Arcanine, etc. So that's really just my out, that if we're starting to get a little bit low, that we can always Ground DMZ something and just nuke it. Also, it means that we can go after Clefable a little bit harder than Poison Jab, especially if it's carrying a poison resisting berry. Which, if he is, then oh well, but if not, we can Tectonic Rage him and then use Poison Jab, and we could probably get close to killing it with that combination. Also, because of the fact that it can be unaware, Dragon Dance, I have to keep that in mind. But Electros also gets nuked by a Tectonic Rage with this. Next up, we have Undercover, which is the Excadrill. Earthquake, Rock Slide, Iron Head, Stealth Rock, Air Balloon. 252 HP, 252 attack with an Adamant Nature, and 4 speed. It's 109, not meant to be very fast, but this is just meant to come in, be able to switch in on an Earthquake without having to worry about it, and just let off an Earthquake of its own. It can do a ton of damage with Iron Head. Rock Slide is useful for the Salamence, etc. And obviously we want to get Stealth Rocks up pretty early. Next up we have Mew. And this Mew is one of the more interesting sets because we are not going to be rocking an offensive Mew in the slightest. This Mew is completely defense. 252 HP, 252 Bold Nature defense with 4 special defense. It's, sorry, not Bold Nature, it's Impish. It wouldn't matter either way. We're rocking Defog, Thunder Wave, Super Fang, and Roost with Leftovers and Synchronize. So the Thunder Wave is to slow down some of his bigger threats to us, whether it be Tentacruel, Salamence, Mega Metagross, whatever it may be, even Exploud if it's Choice Scarf. We have now a way to slow things down a little bit. Super Fang, chunking it with the amount of attacking mons that we do have, we can create some opportunities to set up some sweeps if we can chunk down to 50 HP or 51 HP some of his more defensive Pokemon, whether that be Seismitoad, Tentacruel, etc. Roost is obvious, Defog to get rid of those rocks so our Rotom and our Volcarona can get in and stay in and without having to worry about that. Next up, we have Buzzkill the Volcarona. It's a very standard Volcarona, being that it's a timid, max speed Volcarona, 252 special attack, 4 HP, rocking Quiver Dance, Fiery Dance, Giga Drain, and Hidden Power Rock. I thought about HP Ice, but then I realized that Arcanine is a big enough threat to us. If I didn't carry HP Rock and I carried HP Ice, then not only would Arcanine wall us, but Tentacruel would wall us as well. So this way we can still do a lot of damage to Salamence, we can get the Giga Drains off, we can get Fiery Dances off, but having that Rock also means that we can hit Arcanine, which is a big deal because of the fact that it is a Fire type, and I'm anticipating it to come with close combat to deal with the Tyranitar. And last but not least, we have Pontus, which is basically the name, I believe the origin that I created for that it's based off of is a Demon of the Sea. I think that's what it is. And this is one of my favorite sets that we're running. 252 HP, 252 Modest Nature in special attack for Wishy-Washy, rocking a Life Orb with Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald, and Ice Beam. Basically, the idea is very simple. This thing hits like an absolute truck as it gets to 211 special attack. 152 HP isn't the best in the world, but 151 defense and 155 special defense, this thing is going to hit hard no matter what. Scald does a ton to Mega Metagross. It does like 70% to Mega Metagross, which is why I'm so excited to see it. One of the calcs that I forgot to look at, and I'm going to look it up right now, is I want to see exactly what a Ice Beam would do to a Seismitoad. To a defensive Seismitoad, it would do 45 to 54%, which is crazy. And obviously, Sleep, Talk, and Rest, because if it gets below 20%, it'll resort back to its little baby fish that is completely useless. This gives us dedicated recovery, and Sleep Talk gives us the opportunity to hit hard even afterwards. So he can't really have a dependable switch at any time into this because of Ice Beam and Scald. Obviously, Tentacruel can be a bit of an issue, but outside of that, I think we hit pretty much anything hard. And you know what? Even if we burn a Tentacruel, like, by all means, I'm fine with that. Let's see exactly what it would do to a Tentacruel. Scald would do 23 to 28%. And it really can't touch us back for the most part, which is the biggest deal. So, Ice Beam 17 to 20%. And that's not even stab. That's crazy. So, that's it for all of the Pokemon. I think Elliot is going to be ready. So, without further ado, Alright, it's time for the battle. My predictions for the Pokemon that he's going to be bringing are going to be Clefable, Salamence, Seismitoad, Pangoro, Mega Metagross, and Arcanine. I have a feeling that he's not going to bring the Eel. He might bring Exploud instead, but I think that's what I'm expecting. Okay. So, here's what he brought. Metagross, Arcanine, Clefable, Seismitoad, Pangoro, and Salamence. Alright, so with that team in mind, I think the lead is going to probably be Seismitoad. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to lead with Buzzkill. I think I'm going to lead with Volcarona and see what happens. The only Pokemon that I'm not going to stay in for is going to be the Salamence. Because if I set up a Quiver Dance, then I'm good. Right off the bat. I have to be careful for Rock Slide. I think that's probably a given. I'm assuming that he has Rock Slide on at least half his team. Yeah, I'm assuming. Pangoro gets it. Arcanine probably does. I don't know. Let me see. Rock Smash. Nope. Okay. So we lead with Volcarona, and he's going to lead with Morgan, which is the Arcanine. Not bad. Okay. So Morgan leads off, and let's see. Arcanine. What can Arcanine do to us? Flare Blitz can do a lot. Can do a lot to us. Too important is Volcarona. So I think I'm going to go into Rotom right out the gate. Actually, let me see what Mew can do with this. Because Mew could probably take this pretty well. Arcanine. Oh yeah, I'm going to go into Mew. Don't want to deal with this setting up on me, but let's see. I mean, not setting up. Ooh, a Flamethrower. Special? That did a decent amount. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to probably Super Fang here. We'll see who's faster. I mean, he could maybe go for like a Snarl or something, but I don't see an item, I have a feeling that it's going to be leftovers. It might be berry, but I doubt that it is going to be. Maybe it's like fiery Z or something. But either way, Mew is probably in a really safe spot right now. Even Flamethrower can't do too much. No, that did. Let's see, 167. That did about 25%. So let's give it a modest nature. That would be too much. Probably not a modest nature. Probably something like bold. 24.6. Yeah, something like that. But we're going to get a very safe Super Fang off, and in comes Trevor, which is the Seismitoad. Nice. And that I am more than okay with. So now, what I can do is I can probably... Okay, so it is leftovers. I think I'm going to go into... Well, let's see. Seismitoad is interesting. It might go for a Toxic. If it does, I can live with that. It does get Rock Slide, so I do want to be careful. And I can be as paranoid as I want to be because that's how I feel about it. But there's no point in staying in with Mew. I think the smart play would be to go into Haxorus. Seismitoad, 50%. No. Let's see, clock's winding down. I think I'm going to go into Volcarona. If it's physical, I congratulate him, but I don't think he switches into this unless he knows that he can tank some special attacks. So maybe this is his special defense wall. I don't know. And he withdrew. Okay, so he doubled out. And in comes Godmother, which is the Clefable. So Clefable's an interesting Pokemon as a whole, because it... I can set up a Quiver Dance, but I might just go for a Fiery Dance and see what happens. So he brought in Clefable. We'll see how much this does. That did over half. Okay, and we get the special attack boost. So what's it gonna go for? It goes for a Wish. Okay. I mean, that's fine by me, because I can just go for a Quiver Dance here and feel pretty good about my position. I'll be at +2 special attack, and... I have a feeling this is unaware. Maybe the smart move is to go for a Giga Drain and predict the switch and back into Seismitoad. I'll go for it. Yep, there's the switch. What's coming in? Morgan. Oh, the Arcanine. So we expose that we're rocking Giga Drain. But this seems like it's a special attacking Arcanine. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for... It can't outspeed us. If this is his special defense wall, I think HP Rock is probably the safest play. But I might just go for another Fiery Dance. Nah, HP Rock it is. We'll see exactly how much this does. And it doesn't KO, so this is probably his Actually, that kind of falls right in range with what we expected, and he's gonna roar. Ooh, interesting. What comes in? Ooh, the wishy-washy. Okay. Okay. So it is leftovers. Roar and Flamethrower. So Arcanine, let's see what this can handle from an Ice Beam. An Ice Beam will KO it at this range. So I'm absolutely going for an Ice Beam here. I'm not going to go and predict too much because if he switches into Seismitoad, then we're going to get a good amount of damage off, which is fantastic. Otherwise, we are right now in our Wishy-Washy, which is a scary Pokemon to deal with, I can guarantee it. This thing hits like a truck, and if he switches into Mega Metagross, then an Ice Beam's not going to do much. But he's not going to switch to Mega Metagross. He doesn't want to get burned. I think the logical switch for him is going to be into Seismitoad, and an Ice Beam still is going to do a tremendous amount to anything. If he goes into Salamence, then we're going to KO it unless it's carrying a Yachi. But outside of that, I think he's going to... It doesn't seem like he has anything he can do right now. He's in a bad spot. Let me see exactly how much this would do to a Seismitoad. It probably wouldn't KO it, but it could. At the range that it is right now, if it's not max HP, it could kill it. I'd say it's at about 54%. Maybe. Morning Sun. So that's actually a pretty good move, because now he can preserve this moving forward. As we go for the Ice Beam, and it's going to do 25%. Not bad. But now I think we go for another one. Because I mean, a Scald will just kill this thing outright. So I'm just going to go for the Scald. I'm not going to fool around. I've over-predicted right there, and that means that the Arcanine stays around. It's an important Mon to get rid of. Because if we get rid of Arcanine, then we get rid of one of his two Intimidators. I'm assuming Salamence is also in that ballpark. But a Scald here does a ton to anything. There's no real concern for that. So we'll see. But we've chunked down at least a few of his Pokemon, and he really hasn't done anything to us. As he does withdraw, the Seismitoad coming back in, it is going to be Trevor, which is the Seismitoad, and the Water Absorb is going to go off. So he's going to get some health back, and that's okay. But this thing can't touch us. At least I don't think. So because of that, I am safely going to go for an Ice Beam. And we'll see exactly what happens. But if he wants to dance around switching, by all means, go for it. At most he could do is maybe like 25% with an Earthquake. And if he does that, then so what? You know, this thing hits really hard. 45 to 54%. If this thing is a special defense wall, then it'll do less, but we'll see. He's sitting... I would say he's probably around 85%. About. So we'll see exactly how much this does, but he's kind of on the ropes. He doesn't have any momentum right now, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't get rid of the Arcanine when I had the chance, because a Scald would have just KO'd it. He's going to withdraw, and what's coming in? Xavier. That's going to be the Mega Metagross. Okay. So Metagross comes in. We'll see how much the Ice Beam does to it. It resists it, and it still does so much damage. Oh my god, that did like 30%. So, Metagross, Mega. If it Thunder Punches, it could do a lot, but a Scald might be able to KO it. Honestly. It could do so much to it, but I'm not going to even bother risking it. I'm going right into Mew, which is our Mega Metagross counter. So Wishy-Washy, you can take a breather for the moment, as in comes Mew, and it's going to Mega as it always will, and we'll see exactly what he goes for here. He could go for an agility. He could go for... not sure. Goes for the Zen Headbutt. Oh, and it misses anyway. Doesn't matter. So Zen Headbutt would have done 50 to 59%, which probably wouldn't have been too bad. But I'm going to go for the Super Fang here, and I'm going to start whittling down whatever he wants to deal with, because he knows that he can't touch us. Shout out, though, to King Bub. I saw what his... what's it called? What his Celebi did against this Mega Metagross. And because Mew has the exact same base stats, the only difference is the grass typing, I thought Celebi would be a perfect thing to copy, except we are carrying at least an attacking move. So we do have Super Fang to start cutting things down. But the difference is ice, fire, poison, flying, and a 4x weakness to bug that Celebi has in comparison to Mew, which with pure psychic typing is just a pain in the ass for teams to deal with. It's just one of those things. So we have not shown Thunder Wave yet, but it is something that I'm excited to show off as a tech if we do get an opportunity. So let's see exactly what Elliot goes for here, as we are 13 minutes into the battle and not too much has happened. It's been quite a bit of switching, but you know, we're playing a little bit cautious. This is a really big match. As Mega Metagross switches out, in comes Trevor once more, which is going to be the Seismitoad, which is fine by me. So it takes a lot because of the Super Fang, and that gives us a position to probably go for another one here, because I really don't think there's much that he can do to us. If he has a status move, then I'll synchronize it, and outside of that, another Super Fang here is just absolutely fine. We are rocking Defog on this Mew, and the point is that we're serving as artificial Stealth Rocks right now. Anything that wants to deal with us is getting halved. Anything that doesn't is going to be in trouble, period. So we could have gone for a Will-O-Wisp there if we were carrying it, but I didn't want to bring Willow. I don't like the idea of moves that miss anyway, but the speed control was a lot more important for me in this matchup than it was for burning his Pokemon. As it stays in, it takes another Super Fang, and he's going to go for the Toxic, which is going to reciprocate right back to him, which is fine by me. So with that being said, Synchronize comes out, and Seismitoad is now poisoned. And from that perspective, he won this trade-off at the moment, because obviously we're a much bigger threat to him than he is to me. I have many ways to deal with the Seismitoad, but I'm okay with getting it poisoned because it's just a pain in the ass, and if I can clear it, then that opens up the door for setting up some quiver dances and not worrying so much about the water typing. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch into Buzzkill here, and from there I'm going to quiver no matter what. A quiver dance will be the optimal play because Clefable cannot take another Fiery Dance. This thing cannot take a Giga Drain, and he knows that I'm carrying it. Salamence will not handle an HP Rock well, and if we can take it into a position that it can be eliminated later by anything, then we've basically succeeded in our usage of it. After that, Mega Metagross, I'd love to get that thing under T-Wave pressure, but right now we're going to switch out. We'll see what he is anticipating as we go back into Volcarona. And is he going to go into his Mega Metagross? The answer is Endangered, which is going to be the Pangoro. It's Rock and Mold Breaker, and what we're going to do is, I think a Fiery Dance is in order here, because this thing is scary as hell, and taking any amount of damage onto this thing will put us in a position to take it out very soon. So we're going to go for the Fiery Dance, and I'm not going to look back. This will still do a ton, not a ton, it'll still do a good amount to the, to the Arcanine. At no boost, it does 28 to 33% based on the Arcanine that I'm looking at. And that seems to fall in line with the type of Arcanine that we're dealing with. So 28 to 33% would still put it into a very good position. So I'm expecting Rock Slide to come in and take us out, but wow, Fiery Dance just did so much. Knockoff! Come on, Flame Body. Flame Body! Ah, okay, so it's Life Orb. Okay, so Pangoro kills Volk, which is fine by me because I know that this thing is now that it is indeed Life Orb, which means that we can go into what? I think Rotom can take it out. I think Rotom's a safe play here. Ghost Toast making its entrance. So Pangoro's not fast at all, which is probably the best thing about it. I don't want to give up our... whatchamacallit? I don't want to give up our air balloon as of right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt and take this thing out. He's not going to learn any information about us. If he wants to go for a Bullet Punch, fine, but he doesn't gain anything from that. Based on his team, I guess he could go into Seismitoad, but an HP Grass at this distance will just take it out. So I think the smartest move would be sacrifice his Pangoro, but if he does that, then we're okay. We have plenty of options to do a lot of different things, and Pangoro was scary just because of the fact that it is just a really dangerous Pokemon. It hits hard, and I didn't want any of my other Pokemon to take a knockoff from it. Flame Body activating would have been pretty nice, though. It wouldn't have KO'd it, but I could have at least set up a Dragon Dance with Haxorus the next turn and started potentially sweeping. So that's the only downside, but as of right now, his Metagross is not healthy. It outspeeds us. Oh, it's max speed. Oh. Oh. It hit 110. It must be speed creeping, no speed Rotom. Excellent play. Because of that, 106. 106. 109. The only logical option is go into Haxorus. This thing is scary. I just have to go for a very safe, what's safe here? Earthquake? I mean, Poison Jab's pretty safe. I'll go for EQ. We'll see what he does. He stays in. Okay, so Haxorus kills Pangoro. So we are the Mold Breaker squad, but we just lost a Pokemon because I didn't anticipate max speed. I probably should have, based on how much damage it took. It showed that it didn't have any Bolt. That's just my mistake. But he obviously is speed creeping. Never thought about it, honestly. I probably should have, but that's a mistake. I had the EVs to do it too, and I just chose not to. It didn't occur to me. It didn't occur to me that a 58 speed Pokemon at max speed would, actually it's not even max speed. That would be adamant. So that thing really can get fast. If it was Jolly, I didn't have it. 121? No, that would have been too much. I should have just gone into Haxorus, though. That would have been the very safe play. But Arcanine is not at full health. Clefable's not at full health. Seismitoad is not at full health. Metagross is not at full health. Salamence is the only thing that we haven't seen yet. And if we can take that thing out, then we're set. Pretty much. I mean, Mega Metagross can't outspeed us if we're at +1. Salamence is the only thing that can outspeed us at +1 if it's Scarfed. And in comes Morgan, which is going to be the Arcanine. And I'm expecting a Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to go into Wishy-Washy, and that's really all I'm going to do about it. Because this thing scares me, and I don't want to deal with it. So, we'll see if he switches out. If he switches out, then we know we're faster. We're faster. Okay. In comes Clover, which is the Salamence. Tisk Tisk. And it's not Intimidate, which means it's going to be Moxie. And we're going to go for an Ice Beam. So that's good information to know that Haxorus is faster. But I wonder what Salamence can do to Wishy-Washy as of right now. He might have a Z move on it, and if he does, then okay. Or if it's Yachi, then we're in trouble, basically. I guess I could, he could go for a Dragon Dance or something, and potentially set up on us, but we can always go into Mew, which is at basically full health. So this is a big turn right here. Despite the fact that I'm down 4 to 5. His Seismitoad is basically dead, and this is his only healthy Pokemon. Haxorus, for me, is at max health. Mew might be poisoned, but it's at max HP, and Excadrill is yet to hit the field and still has its air balloon intact. So these are all things that are important and worth noting. The fact that Arcanine did not outspeed Haxorus means that we can take it out with a Tectonic Rage the next time, if we do get into that situation. It's going to switch out, and what comes in is going to be the Mega Metagross. So Metagross comes in, and we're going to hit it with the Ice Beam. And this Ice Beam is going to do a lot of damage. It is a crit. But we can take this thing out with a Scald now. But, per usual, I think I'm going to... Wishy-Washy, how important are you? I'm going to go for a Scald. That crit wouldn't have mattered at all. It didn't matter. Goes for a Zen Headbutt. He does hit this time. Can it take us out? It doesn't, but the Scald will take him out. So, Wishy-Washy kills Mega Metagross. Perfect. So Pontus stops schooling, and now I expect him to go into Morgan, go for a Morning Sun, and we're going to rest. Let's see what Wishy-Washy's stats are. I know Wishy-Washy has nothing going for it once it gets to the non-schooling form. 25. So let's just see what that would do to a Salamence, because that's going to be interesting. 25. 84 to a Salamence. Oh, Trevor. Nice. So in comes that, and Ice Beam would still KO it? Oh my god. Oh dear. We're going to go for rest. I don't know what he's going to go for. Maybe I'll go for Stealth Rocks. That'd be pretty cool. But, yep, there it is! Hey! Stealth Rocks hit the field. Oh, you're going to be so disappointed in a minute. Oh! 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 Sleep! Go to sleep, little Wishy-Washy. Return to your schooling form. Return to your schooling form. Oh, that is so great. Oh my god, that is so great. So, back to full. We are asleep. We are carrying Sleep Talk. So we have 2 mandatory turns of sleep. An Ice Beam here kills this. A Scald gives it health. Rest does nothing. He is now in one of the worst positions you could possibly be in, because we took out the Mega, and now he has Arcanine, which is in trouble, Clefable, which is in trouble, Seismitoad, which is in trouble, and Salamence, which he can't switch into. So I have a feeling he's going to start going for damage. He might go for a knockoff here if he has it on the Seismitoad. If not, well... Oh yeah, an Ice Beam would have killed Salamence from the normal one. 217 to 257%. Even with a Yachi, it wouldn't survive. So, no, even the little baby fish could have killed a Salamence with an Ice Beam. 85 to 102%. That's crazy. I want to know what Elliot's reaction was to that, because that is the heatest set you could possibly have. He went for the rocks, which at this point don't benefit him at all. I guess the fact that we keep switching it would benefit him, but from the perspective of the extent of this battle, I think the rocks were the wrong move. But then again, he would have no concept of knowing that I had that. So this means that if we get any attack off, this thing is dead. Please, Ice Beam him. Come on, Wishy. Come on, Washi. Yes! Let's go! Go away, Salamence! Let's go! That doesn't secure the game, but it very well puts it into a position where we basically have won this match. Oh my god. Oh, his offensive threats are done. So, Clefable has Wish, but we can chunk it with Super Fang, and we can take it out with Excadrill. We can also take it out with this. Fiery Dance was enough to put it into a decent range. If we get a Scald off against Arcanine, or against Clefable. Let's see, okay, in comes Seismitoad. So he is banking on an ability to KO us, but we're gonna go, he's hoping that when we go for the Scald, for the Sleep Talk, goes for the knockoff here. Okay. So that does a decent amount to us, but now we're not taking Life Orb damage anymore. So if we hit an Ice Beam here, I think we win. Just outright. I think that's enough. I don't think that mattered. No, that didn't matter. In comes Godmother. So let's see how much a Scald will do to this thing. Oh, 42 to 50. Moonblast. Come on, Wishy. Don't get in a special attack drop. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. For differential, I'm going to save this. Nah, I'm not going to save it. Not going to risk it. I don't know what this thing can do to me, but I'm just going to go for the Scald. Because we are at a third health, Flamethrower, And that will do it. Wishy-washy with the heat of the week. Coming in with the burning hot scald. And we win 4-0. Let's go. Let's go. Elliot, that was an incredible match. We now improve to 5-1 on the season. Oh, God. I can't believe Wishy-Washy just did that. So, I think we know for a fact that Wishy-Washy is the Mon of the Week, without a doubt. But we're now 5-1 on the season, which means that we now have a plus 18 differential, and we're 5-1. Which is just, oh my God, that is spectacular. Absolutely fantastic. Next week, we take on Papa C and the New York Clinks. And the Clinks are an interesting team because they have a Pokemon that I really like. And, oh, they didn't. They did for a while, but they don't anymore. It's Jirachi, Klefki, Kyurem, Clawitzer, Gligar, Leavanny, Mega Alakazam, Zapdos, Blastoise, Blaziken, and Pinsir. Oh, he traded Mimikyu for Blastoise. I don't get that. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. I am Moonlight Swami, and we are the Colorado Rapidash. 5-1 on the season, plus 18 differential. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will be talking to you guys later. Peace!